Okay, so today is week 25. Um, so yesterday or the day before was the longest daytime of the year, right? So as we continue, the daytime is shorter and shorter. So please do enjoy the summertime, right? Right. While the weather is very hot and humid, but the market is kind of chill, right? Okay, so last week I was talking about how to weather the turbulence on the market, right? And so last week, last Wednesday, the Fed Reserve of the South Border, right? Um, Powell, right? Mr. Powell dropped a big bomb. Actually, everybody is waiting the drop of the other boosts. So they hacked the benchmark rate by another 75 bips. Originally, the guidance is 50, but the things getting worse. So they increase by another 25, so make it 30, 75. So that's the most rate increase since 1994, right? But it seems that the stock market is digesting, right? We can see in the past few days, the market, the index is up and down. You can see people from both sides fighting. And one thing for sure is the market correction is happening, and it will happen, and it's happening right now. So the Canada, so in the past few weeks, so first thing is the Federal Reserve hiked the rate. And the second is the yesterday news, right? Canada just witnessed the highest inflation since 1983. I think it's 7.7%. So maybe in early next week, after the holiday, after Canada Day, we can go back and see the June's number. Maybe they'll be even higher, right? But the third thing is I'm seeing in the past few days the gas price, the oil future price, wood, copper, corn, wheat, all the most of the commodity future prices are dropping. So because the traders start to price in the decrease of demand due to the recession, right? Because people are already predicting that there will be a recession. Hopefully there will be a soft landing, will be a mild recession, right? But we are already seeing that, okay? And the last is by Immigration Canada. We are expecting a large inflow of new either the permanent residents or the temporary residents like students, temporary worker, laborers. We see at least 500,000 people, right, coming to Canada in the next 6 months. So those people need house, and we talked about in 2 weeks ago. So if we just combine all the information, is basically the central bank of Canada, US, or Europe, they're gonna do whatever they're supposed to do, although they admit what they are currently doing may not harness the trend anyway, because I'm going to cover the reason behind the inflation, right? But they're gonna do it anyway. It may calm down the housing market and stock market, or the crypto market a little bit. For the core CPI, it won't help. Okay. So today's topic is we know that the market correction is inevitable, right? It's going to happen anyway. But are you ready? So we as agents, are we ready for that? How we should be prepared, right? That's the thing. That's the thing we need to discuss. Okay, so I just attached a few slides because last week when I present, I just show my videos. I didn't present the screenshot, so I just put a little bit. So one thing I want to point out, right now, the solution or the cure proposed or pre-subscribed by the Fed or the central bank is not the solution to the problem, right? The problem also admitted by the Fed is basically two things. One is the conflict in Europe, East Europe, right? The Ukraine and Russia, right? So Russia currently is the #2 gas export country in the world. #1 is the US. #2 is Russia. #3 is OPEC in the Middle East, right? The whole OPEC organization. And the #4 is Canada. Okay, and also Ukraine, right? Ukraine, they are the #1 country exporting the wheat. Basically, one of the main source of food, right, is the wheat, right? That's very important. So basically, if those two countries are currently confronting each other, that means globally we are have trouble in both the energy and we have trouble with food, right? So, but that has nothing to do with the interest rate, right? That is the supply side, right? And the second is about the global logistics, the transportation, right? We see the shipment container jump from $5,000 US dollar per container all the way to 20,000. But right now it's down a little bit to around 8 to 10 grand, but it's still almost 80% or 100% higher than pre-pandemic. It's still high. And also China, right? The East Asia, the Korean, Singapore, Vietnam, Thailand used to be, they did very precaution, right? Well, they treated very well with the COVID-19. But in the past few months, we see big trouble in East Asia, right? In Asia as well, because for example, in Vietnam, or Thailand, or China, they are the manufacturer factory for the whole world, right? We have seen a lot of things made in China, made in Vietnam, made in Thailand, but those countries currently we have big trouble of the supply chain. So today I just got the news that the Tesla, the super factory in Shanghai, in China, they're gonna put them in stop. We don't know the reason why, but I guess it's due to the pandemic too, right? So two things. One is the Ukraine and Russia, which put us in trouble of the food and energy. And also in East Asia, we have the manufacturer has been sometimes being suspended by paused. So we'll have trouble in that as well. That's become a big problem. But either case can be solved by increased the rate. That means, so for example, someone has a headache, right? Some got a fever, so the family doctors give some relief pain pills to treat your stomach, right? So it seems to be the same thing to relieve the pain, but it's different. It's a different part of the body has the issue, right? It cannot solve it. I think we know it, the Fed know it, but they have no other way. So because we have a big problem, if you okay, let me a little bit. So this is from the US Bureau of Labor Statistics. So if we just break down the number here, I don't even need to go to detail. I think just this graph is be sufficient. Okay, so if you see this, the energy, right, is the 12-month percentage change. See this? The energy part is gone by 1/3. The food is like a 10%, right? All the other is like 8%. And if you lessen the food, and energy is just a 6% for all the other things. Then what's the problem? So what is the problem? Is that because we have the boys buy too much PS5, or the girls buy too much cosmetics? No, It's because of energy and the food. And we can do nothing about that. We know that, the Fed know that. So with that being said, what that means to us, meaning if anything relieved between Ukraine and Russia, or anything if the pandemic eased in East Asia, we may see a huge turnaround in no time. Okay, and the central bank, right, will monitor the situation. If anything is eased, right, then they will flatten the rate curve, right, and probably even drop off a little bit. So what that means to us is, I want to say to everyone, don't. So we have to be precautious, but don't lose confidence, don't lose hope, right? So currently, the current market is not reflecting the truth, right? So basically, the policy maker, the regulator, they basically just, so right now in their pockets, there are not many tools to use. All they have is just monetary policy tools, right? They cannot fix the virus. They cannot recover the supply chains, but all they can is to surprise the daily demand, right? For example, if don't buy, for example, don't try to buy a house, don't try to buy, don't try to travel, right? Don't don't change to a new car, right? Just reduce any necessary expenditure, right? That's what they're trying to do, right? To constrain all the other expenditure. But see, all the other expenditure just contribute 6%, just like a 6% year-to-year change. It won't help them a lot. All they're doing is buying some time and wait and see. So
well, don't you, what is your personal feeling that when we hit the fall, do you not see things improving?
yes, I definitely think in fall things are gonna improve due to two reasons. One, war is costing lots of money, right? Even for the most powerful country, the United States, they have to probably spend hundreds of millions of dollars, even tens or hundreds of $1,000,000. So after this done, I don't know how much money all the countries can spend, even Canada, the UK, the Germany, a lot of German, right? A lot of people, countries, they spend monies, millions of monies, dollars. So at certain point, personally, I think they have to stop, right? They have to stop because right now the economy is very, very fragile. Not even to Russia. Russia is used to be a very super powerful country, but in the past decades they have their own problem. Although they are also a very big influence to the world, but that's still lots of money, right? So they have to stop, right? So after the war has already started for about half a year, let's say just make another 3 months. I think it's gonna be they are seeking some kind of truth or peace. That's my personal idea. Second, for the pandemic, and also this year for China, right?
Okay, I see it now.
Okay, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. So now you see. So this is the chart I was talking about here. Energy is 34. All the other just 6%. Food is 10%. Okay. So here is on the CIC website, right? So since 1980s, in the past 40 years, in most years, Canada is welcoming 200,000 immigrants every year. And later on, prior to the pandemic, it's increased by 50% to 300,000. Since 2021, our prime minister, right, target increased to 400,000. It basically doubled. So that's about 1.1% of the country. So, but still 400,000, think about it, after 10 years, just 4 million. So right now, Canada has like what, 38? Less than 40 million, right? So we are much bigger, right? So Canada, I think, is almost like the size of the West Europe, right?
No, Canada has the second largest land in the world.
Yeah, so we have the chance to be the #1, but we sold that piece to to the States, so we could be the #1. Alaska, right? So,
Our land mass is larger than United States.
yes, but we only have 38 million, so we have less population than California, right? California population is like a what, like a 40 million, 39 million, right? It's more than Canada. So that's that's a little bit awkward. But anyway, so after 10 years, if we just keep this speed, after 10 years, we just increase what, like 4 million people? That's almost nothing, right? So after 100 years, that's like a 40 million. So like after 100 years, we probably can be around 75, 80 million. So right now the UK population is like 67, and the Germany population is like 83. So even at this speed, with that being said, assume there's no any increase of Germany. After 100 years, we are still about 5 million people lagging behind the Germany 100 years ago. So $400,000 a year is nothing to us. But that being so, in our career, that means in the next 20 or 30, 40 years, we can see at least the next 50 years, right? We can see just people will be, I don't see, no matter which party, right? No matter it's a liberal or the PC party, so which party, the immigration is probably the #1 policy, right? So you mentioned about the 48,000 people from Ukraine. They probably came in a rush. They don't have much saving. They have to, but we have other people, right? We may have people from Ukraine. They can be injected into our labor market, right? Or some people they are the investment immigration, right? Or some the experienced labor or all kinds. So Canada, we are welcome people as long as we share the same spirit, we share the same culture. So no maybe the culture, we love the country, then that's fine, right? So personally for myself,
Gary, I'll be back in 1 second, okay?
no problem. So taking myself as an impossible example, I was not born or raised in Canada. I came to here as an international student, right, to Western. So that's totally fine. So okay, so basically, the conclusion I want to draw from this first part of this presentation is, yes, down the road, the market is we're gonna see major corrections in almost every single market, right? But the current tough situation is not caused by the monetary or physical policy, right? It's caused by something else, which can be solved by the situation itself in no time. And by that time, when things come in, we can see a 180 degrees turn around in no time. So we have to be fully prepared for that. That's the message I want to share with everyone. Right? It's not like, oh, it's the doom, it's the end of the day. We just lie down and do nothing. No, we have to keep our eyes and ears sharp and stay tuned to the market. Join our weekly Zoom meeting, right, and listen to the latest, because I like to read. Right, I always keep myself up to date to all kinds of market, commodity, futures, stock market, and of course on the housing market. Okay, so that's the very first part.